Hello, and welcome to the Thyroid Warrior podcast. I'm Ebony, and I'm here as your wellness facilitator. I'm going to be sharing my experiences in managing Hashimoto's disease. I really hope that it'll help you on your personal journey. Keep in mind, however, this does not substitute for medical advice. It is only for your information and motivational purposes only. Now, let's get started. Hi friends, I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you today about exercise. So as I mentioned before, we talked about healthy fats, we talked about the importance of heart health, and now we're going to add another dimension, and that is exercise. Exercise is great if you are super into it and you like doing CrossFit, or if you like to go for a walk and just have a leisurely stroll, but it enhances your life so much. Now, the American Heart Association recommends about 150 minutes a week for exercise. So you can split it up into 30 minutes, 5 times a week, or if you need to take 3 10-minute blocks every day, let's say you walk in the morning and you have to walk the dog, or you take a walk during lunch and then you take a longer walk on the way home, for example. Those are ways that you can get in your 30 minutes a day. It is so important for those of us that have a thyroid disease as well, because remember, your thyroid gland controls the cells responsible for metabolism. So when you're working on exercise, you're burning calories and you're revving up your metabolism, which in a lot of cases, it's going to help your thyroid health as well. And it's going to get rid of that stress in some people. Not all, it just depends on you and what your genetic makeup is. It will help with your anxiety, any other additional factors such as diabetes and the heart disease and all that fun stuff. It will definitely help with your cholesterol levels, and it just makes you strong. And that is really important for everyone to recognize. Your confidence gets better. You have a better body image. You like walking past and looking at yourself in the mirror because why not? You're cute. Celebrate it. And it's very, very important that when you're starting with exercise to A, consult with your healthcare provider, and B, make sure that if you're going to work with a personal trainer, that you let them know that you have an either, whether it's an autoimmune type of thyroid disease or disorder in general, and tell them about your issues, so to speak, when it comes to your thyroid gland, so that they're aware of it. Because through their certification, they have that foundational knowledge of your endocrine system, and they understand the metabolism processes and how that should help you either lose weight or gain weight in a healthy manner. You can also make sure that you include a nutritionist or dietitian in your arsenal as well, just to make sure, again, you're feeding your body with all of that good stuff to make sure it's functioning optimally. When you exercise, it is really important for you guys to know that it will also help with if you suffer from muscle soreness and stiffness and joint pain. It helps with that. And I am a witness to that very thing. Now, it's not all about lifting weights, and it's not all about cardio. So you don't have to feel like I have to run on the treadmill for 3 hours, or I have to go for a super long run in the park. No, you don't have to do that. You can walk, you can do yoga, you can do Zumba or body step classes or swimming. All of these things help to strengthen your body in different ways. But what I also want you guys to keep in mind is your limitations. So if you know that you're someone who has a higher level of muscle soreness and joint pain and stiffness, honor that and make sure that if you need to modify, modify. Not everyone has the ability to do push-ups on their feet. Maybe you have to start on your knees at first. And to be very honest, sometimes when you do push-ups on your knees, you get much more work in your chest area than you would if you were actually on your feet. So there's nothing wrong with modifications. Or if you take that fitness class, don't try to keep up with the instructor if it's your first class. They give you modifications. Take it. It's okay. You have to start somewhere, and I'd rather you start small to make gradual changes into being a better version of you than for you to go all out, hurt yourself, or get really discouraged and not go back to it. That's not what I want for you. I want you to be successful and I want you to win, and I'm standing on the sidelines cheering you on. If I have to send each of you a virtual high five, I will. You just let me know. So the other thing is sometimes when you're getting started with exercising, it can be overwhelming and it can be a real challenge. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay. As I spoke about last week in the Healthy Fats episode, you really want to make sure that your diet and nutrition go hand in hand with exercise. That is the easiest way to really see a lot of change in your body. If you want to just start small with walking, walk with a buddy or get a really cool playlist and just pop that in or listen to a podcast while you're walking. Find ways to make it fun. Exercise is not a punishment. It's a great stress reliever. You feel good. I feel like Superwoman when I exercise. And when I make those new changes or I can balance longer, it's such a beautiful and satisfying feeling. Like I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But start that meal planning process. Figure out what you like to eat. And again, if you're a person that travels a lot, figure out, okay, if I'm traveling to New York this week, is there an airport restaurant that I can go to that I know will have healthy options or gluten-free options? Or do I need to make a quick stop at the grocery store because now they have a lot of prepackaged food that's organic or that's lower in sodium and is really actually really great to travel with? Or do I need to prep the night before and grab some things from the grocery store to make sure that I'll be good for traveling to my destination? And then once you get there, look it up and see if there are grocery stores in the area or if there are restaurants that have great options in terms of vegetables, in terms of making sure that you have a good protein source. If you're someone who's sensitive to gluten, do they have gluten-free options? There's a lot that you can do. You just have to put in a little bit of work up front. But once you do that, it becomes a habit. It literally used to take me 2 days to do meal prepping for the week. And then I realized, Ebony, you're going into this with no plan. So I would sit down, write out the things that I like to eat. I just dumped it on a piece of paper. What do I like to eat? And then I went to Pinterest, of course, because if you haven't realized it already, I'm a Pinterest junkie and I'm okay with that. And I literally looked up, okay, crock pot recipes, because I could just dump stuff in a crock pot, forget about it, and oop, there's lunch for 3 days. Or chicken or fish or vegetable options. I like to make sure that I'm getting a lot of those things in and I can use a lot of those vegetable dishes as a side. And it started to become a lot easier because I realized how much variety was out there. And you can also look up different themes for each day. You can have a Taco Tuesday or a No Meat Monday or, Wings Wednesday, but instead of frying your wings, you bake them. There are so many things out there. And again, in the show notes, I will put Links to my Pinterest board in there, so take a look at that. But what's also so cool about that, guys, is that I planned and then I wrote down what I wanted to eat. And it was so much easier to go grocery shopping because I wasn't so overwhelmed. And literally time just started dropping off of how long I was spending prepping my meals. And then, oh my word, I discovered frozen organic vegetables. And that just completely blew my mind because remember, just because it's frozen, they pick it in peak season. So you're still getting the nutritional value. You're still getting everything you need. And oops, I can either cook it on the stove or I can pop it in the microwave and boom, there you go. Week's worth of veggies. So those are all of the different things that have really made it easy for me. The other thing too is that I know for me personally, I need to make sure that I really, really think about and make a conscious effort to exercise because I know that it gives me that stress relief. I sleep better. My stomach doesn't hurt as much. My IBS symptoms are basically non-existent now. And I'm calm and I'm happy. And that is such a blessing because it's just so cool when you start to see all of the changes that happen once you take that one step to say, I want to change my life. I'm tired of feeling tired. I'm tired of being bloated. I'm tired of having no energy. It sucks. So when you get to that point where you're like, okay, I need to do something because this isn't okay for me anymore. You will be amazed at how your body responds to that. And also what I've started doing is I started writing a lot of positive affirmations and rewarding myself for making those changes, whether it was in my diet or exercising. And every day I exercised, I would give myself a pat on the back because I did it. Because I used to spend so much time laying in bed hurting. And that's such a terrible feeling. Or I couldn't run around with my nephew. And I didn't want to be like that for him. I wanted to be active. I wanted to play with him. I wanted to roll down the hill with him. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to make some decisions. And I'm so glad that I did. And now I can run around with my niece. And my sister's always like, I have no idea why you have so much energy, but it's scary. I didn't have that 2 years ago, a year ago even, let alone almost 10 years ago when I initially started having symptoms. I feel better now than I did in my early 20s. And that's crazy to me. But I put in the work. I got tired of being tired. And I knew that I wanted to be better. I knew that I wanted to be able to have energy to play with my nephew, to play with my niece, to entertain my family, to be able to be there for my future children. And I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I made that decision. And I literally just got my biometric screening results back. My weight is fantastic. My cholesterol is amazing. My blood sugar is perfect. And I'm not at risk for type 2 diabetes. And I literally started crying during that time because 4 years ago, I was borderline having high cholesterol and my blood sugar and my hemoglobin A1C levels were really high. And that's devastating when you're in your mid-20s and you're like, I got high cholesterol, guys. Sorry. That was a source of shame for me. That just didn't make me feel good. And I really decided to make changes, and I feel so happy when I go into my patient portal and I can look at the graph that shows my levels going down. And I don't know about you, but that's an amazing feeling. So to all of you who are out there struggling and trying to figure out, what do I do? I'm tired of this. Just know that I am in your corner, backing you up every step of the way. Follow me on ebony.colina on Instagram, and I constantly put information out there in terms of just motivation. I show you how I meal prep. I show you different pictures about, how I'm experimenting with new things. And it's all because I want to be able to support you guys. So with that, I really, really am so super hopeful that you guys are going to take that next step to feel better, because I believe in you. I know that you're courageous. I know that you're strong. And it's okay to be scared, because change is scary. But I know that you can do it. I believe in you. And I know that once you make that one small change, it's almost like you can move mountains after that. So with that, friends, I really, really hope that you know how phenomenal you are. And with small steps such as exercise, you can really make a difference in how you feel. So as you're meal prepping, as you're exercising, as you're walking, tag me at ebony.colina on Instagram so I can cheer you guys on. If you need me to hold you accountable when you're starting off, I will do that. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'm so looking forward to talking to you guys next week. Take care. Okay, thyroid warriors. Get out there and take things one step at a time. Remember, be great, reflect on your triumphs, and as always, be well. Take care.